Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be quickly reviewing a VOD, which will show you both how you win higher elos and also why that might not be applicable for you, and how a lot of the stuff is either extremely pointless for you, or it just is stuff that's sometimes going to work for you, but oftentimes it's not going to work for you because, well, varying reasons, right? So we start out the game as Evelynn. We have two options. We can path for bot or we can path for top. Either way, really, we don't really have any reliable CC in any lane. In this case, I chose bot lane to path for because double ranged, and I can like fight it, and I can like if one of these lanes gets prior, then the other one won't really get to play so much. And though you could also path for a top lane, but generally I prefer not to path for lanes like this because, well, simply said, these people who play like Yone or Yasuo or something top, they either like do really well, so it's just like fine, or they do like really shit and then they just die before you stop clearing. So here I just did my 3 camps. I was looking at top if anything is going on, nothing is happening. Okay, I just go keep clearing, you know? Like there's no real need for me to be there. This guy just like did whatever this is, and okay, I mean junglers in your elo will also do this, right? Cool. So they want 1 for 1, sure. Something like that happens. Cool. I delayed my clear a little bit because I checked if the Yi can be punished. But okay, so now a really weird situation, right? And theoretically here, what you would end up doing is diving the enemy bot lane, but since the enemy bot lane got double killed, there isn't really much to say, right? And instead you end up going to ward the enemy blue side, so that since you know that he only did his red side, you know that he couldn't have done this side of the map yet, and if you ward through this whole side, then he's either going to have to do no camps and gank, or do all the camps, and then if he tries to gank, he's just going to be spotted, and if he doesn't try to gank, then, well, he's just full clearing to top, and everyone knows where he is the whole time, so kind of pretty advantageous, right? So then here I end up noticing him, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's going for a bot gank, I'm level 4, he's level 3, if he goes for Scuttle, I can fight him on Scuttle, if he goes for bot gank, I can like try to trap that, right? I saw, okay, so he might be going for either one. I check, okay, he's not on Scuttle. That means that he's going to bot lane, right? But this is not applicable in your elo because if you're playing in like really low elo, then there isn't really much of a bait that's gonna happen here, or like people won't cancel recalls, you know? Like this guy, for example, won't cancel recall, this guy's master. But this guy is like, oh, okay, I can bait this, you know? But then even then, like this guy might just try to fight it completely and then he just wins and then somehow he gets away from you, for example, right? That could be a disaster as well. Completely unworth in that case. So what you end up preferring in lower elo is, oh, well, my bot lane can just back off, you know? Or you just fight the Yi yourself because they're usually brain damage enough to just fight you, you know? But since it's higher elo, I can like use my teammate to bait. My teammate plays it well and we just kill him. Which is actually more advantageous for me than trying to fight him here, because here he can still escape always. And he's also closer to his camps and whatever. Now in this scenario, I have 2 choices. I can try to take his camps, which is pretty bad because the guys are here. So in that case, if they move, I will have to back off. Or I can do 2 scuttles, and that's what I chose to do. So some of the stuff is obviously going to still be fine and applicable to you, but it's hard to really tell what's applicable and what isn't, right? And for example, here, I see him on the ward, I'm like, okay, well, I'll take his camps then. So that is applicable for you. But, for example, that play was not applicable, right? And also, like, looking for a gank, like, considering going 3 camps and maybe top lane if needed, considering going, like, 3 camps and bot lane if needed, like, that stuff is also not really applicable for you if you're between, I don't know, if you're under, like, master, there's just no reason. Or under a diamond, high diamond, let's say, whatever. And this is, like, whatever play, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I know that this wave just wants to get pushed by Yon, because that's how he's playing it anyway, and he has a potion, so I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just help him a little bit. And I ended up missing my Q and whatever, I didn't get assist or anything, but cool, whatever, I got XP and that's pretty chill. Then we base, because we have the base for Sorks and Darksteel. If you check my gold, 170 left, so pretty much what I wanted, right? And then I just do my camps. So now we know that Yi did bot side to top side full clear, and his red is coming up, right? So ideally right now, if I can get level 6, it's going to be amazing. So right now I'm trying to leech XP from this guy for level 6. Right? Okay. because I'm like 1 XP off, but that minion right there that died, I think it wasn't in range. But then I get 6, and you see his red buff is spawning, and this is what I keep telling you people. Like, just invade people when their second buff is spawning if you're level 6, because it's really unlikely they will also be level 6. Like, this is Master, and, like, what can he do? Like, okay. Yeah, dude, you can do a lot. Like, what can he do? Nothing. Just die. Just that. Unlucky that happened. They have Pry in both lanes, so I'll just sneak this away and move on, right? Then I want to play for his camps, that's why I walked through mid. And this way I at least get something from him, you know, again. Though I can't really take more because then I will get caught by him, so. We just do 1 camp from him, and then we get to play for the objective, right? And because we know that he did bot side to top side before, he's going to do bot side to top side again, right? Because we killed him on his red buff, and that was the only camp that was up. If we look again, right? So, a little informative moment. So this camp is coming up, but is he really going to go like that, right? Like, his choice here is either going to Krugs, where nothing is up after Krugs. Like, what does he do after Krugs? His top laner is mid lane, his bot laner is just pushed out, and they might end up basing by the time that he gets to bot lane, and enemy top lane just beats him 1v1. Like, there's just nothing to do, right? And he has 2 camps bot side, and maybe a scuttle, so it just makes more sense to go bot side, right? So because we know it makes more sense to go bot side, so he likely goes bot side, we can take one of his camps. And when we take one of his camps like this, we first of all denied him income, and all of our camps are going to come up, and we can just full clear later. And at the same time, we also get to secure the objective that's on the side of the map that he's playing towards. So now he makes play top side, nothing happens. Because he kills our laner, okay, and then he has nothing to take, because what is he going to do? Run straight to bot side and take dragon? I mean, in that case, we can still contest it, right? So this basically just secures us a timing for us to play for all of our camps. Unluckily, this guy ends up actually showing up and tries to take it, but I get it away from him. And here I go in because I think that Brand has every spell, and he doesn't use them. Lovely. This is worth anyway, even if I don't take the Herald, because I get 300 gold for it, and he doesn't get it. Here, he doesn't have every spell. Though this is really weird because you can just use W and Q, and TF just has to insta-flash. But, yeah, no. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Got a 1-for-1. That's fine. We also got TF flash, whatever. He does, like, the classic E thing where you just int. Like, look, it's completely brainless, by the way, what these E players do. Their champ is completely overtuned on damage, right? But doesn't do anything else. So they just run at you, they run at towers, they run at everything, and just try to kill you, you know? Like, it's complete brain damage. Like, look, he just doesn't care. Like, how's this ever gonna work? It wasn't even close. Like, it literally was not even close. And the worst thing is I don't even have to ult back into tower. I can ult this way as well. Then I can smite him and just kill him. Even if he survives. Even if he doesn't take a tower shot. So, I don't know. Then at this point, we have a lot of gold, right? So 2k something gold. So we can either just insta-base or we can do like 1 quadrant. And then we can base. I chose to do 1 quadrant and base because then I can just play for my bot side after. And I can also play for maybe top dive, right? Because I was seeing that when I look here, right? You end up seeing, this guy's low HP, right? And you just think, okay, well, I could just run top lane, but that's a bit monka-esque. But I have time to do like 1 or 2 camps, and or 3 camps, you know? Like, depending on how it goes. Like here, see, I'm not even late by a lot. Like, I'm late by maybe like a few seconds to the play. But honestly, this isn't even late because he doesn't get to clear the wave before I do the play. So basically, I would just get all the camps and get to the play anyway. But okay, I just got to the play, whatever. And then because I did this, I end up countering his play with Spiritual as well. And they also have the most broken champ in the game, Milio, in their team, which is completely unskilled, Yumi 2.0, and broken as fuck. Also, if Rengar gets nerfed, I mean, just ban Rengar this patch, obviously, because it's not balanced. But if Rengar gets nerfed, if it's not completely broken anymore with Yomu's nerfs and maybe Rengar nerfs as well or something, start banning Milio every single game, no matter what you play. This champ is not okay. That is not normal. That's my advice for you anyway. I ban that champ every game I play on ADC. But yeah, I mean, that play again, not applicable if you're low elo, because by the time you do this, like, your own can just die, your own can just like push out and like, I don't know, base. that guy might just like base randomly, you know, and so on. This doesn't make much sense. You can just use stuff that's easier and gives you more value. And then random kills like this, I mean, they just happen always, but you don't learn anything from this, for example, right? Like, this is why watching high elo jungle VODs isn't very useful. You need to, you kind of preferably would watch jungle VODs of people who are higher elo than you, but they play in your own elo. That's like a lot easier because in that case you see directly, okay, well, they do like these kinds of things and they consistently do them and they win like that, you know? Because for example, this, I mean, okay, whatever, I adapt to Jinx, but then like the skeleton kill, like there's nothing you can really learn from this. Like only thing you're learning from the skeleton kill is don't waste your E before he demounts. That's the only thing you can possibly take away from this. And if I don't tell you that, you won't even take that away from this. You will just think, ah, well, Kled inted and he went in and he killed it. But this is killable because I saved my E until he demounts. But like, firstly, that's like a small takeaway. And second of all, you're not even gonna take that away if you just watch it yourself, right? Which are some of the issues with that kind of stuff. And obviously, Yi will show up and somehow this works for him because his champ is a bit overloaded on damage, as well as Milio being completely overloaded on damage. Just gives every champ in the game crack cocaine damage. That's fine. And at this point, there isn't really too much to say. Like, all you have to do now is just, I don't know, just make a play or two and you win, you know? Like this play, for example, okay, you make some random fight happen and you just win it, and okay, cool. Now go kill Yi once and then you just win the game. Kinda how it works. Like, okay, go make one more play and then you just win the game. And that's all really, right? So there isn't really too much to say about this, but the issue is just that a lot of these things aren't really necessary, right? Like if we look at how I got my kills, right? In low elo, as I said here, you would just fight the Yi because you have such a big advantage. For example, you could, I don't know, like be anywhere here and just fight them. Though not the best idea to be in his jungle, because you kind of want to kite him because he has items and you don't, right? But he doesn't have very good items, but still has items. So you need to kite him. Then, I mean, this is same as low elo. But then something like this, like they're not gonna do stuff like this. Like you just perma invade after 6 basically. Like after you kill him here, wait, where was it? After you kill him here at red buff, right? The game is just over in low elo. Because after this, you're so ahead that if you just clear everything that's available, like, you know, like you just clear whatever, and you just keep invading him whenever you have ult, you will just win. You can just look for some random kills because you're fed. Like, I don't think it's rocket science to win as Evelynn if you're 3-0 before 10 minutes, you know? But yeah, I wanted to both give you some ideas on how you can play this champ. At the same time, though, also to tell you why you can't really look at replays in every elo and have it be applicable to whatever you play in, right? Like it doesn't always work like that. If I were to sort it out, right, I would say something like, okay, my epic pen. I would say something like iron to like plat. It's like literally the same, right? Then like diamond plus master is like the same, right? And then like GM plus Chal, right? But if you look at people who are, even if they're like it doesn't matter if it's like Chal player in like plat, right? Like that's fine for you to watch, right? But watching like Chal player in Chal or plat player in Chal is not going to be very useful for you. Simply because of the way that jungle works, because it's a lot about adapting to what people other than you do, and the higher elo you go, the more it becomes about adapting, right? And the lower elo you are, the more you're allowed to be inflexible and to follow a general plan that I always advocated to make. So what ends up being the case here is that every game, basically, if you clear properly and then you do your thing after the first rotation, right, you will end up with at least a small lead, if not a big lead. I ended up with a big lead pretty much all of my games when I played there. And then at level 6, you will just perma-invade the enemy jungler, and he can't play the game. Then in Diamond and Master, this changes a little bit, because now it's like, okay, well, I can't always perma-invade, right? Like, I'm gonna have to sometimes adapt a little bit in my clear if I want to win all of my games, but I don't have to adapt, right? Like, that's the gateway elo, kinda. Like, Diamond and Master, you can choose if you want to play like Iron to Plat, because you can just play completely consistent. You're still going to climb to like master something, right? But then you're gonna have a lot of trouble, because if you're not adaptable, then like your champion is too telegraphed. You're not a champion. You're not like I don't know, like some champion people just can't predict, you know? I can't even really think of something. I don't know. You're not like GP, let's say, right? Like you just like randomly barrel people and get like triple headshot pentakill machine barrel, right? You're not like that. You are a champion that just walks around and just does some damage, but it's completely melee, completely telegraphed. The only thing you have going for you is like your stealth, and even your stealth, like people ward your camps, people pink ward against you, people can just body block you from approaching the people that you actually want to kill, and so on. So in these elos like Diamond Master, you can kind of choose however you want to play, and the best playstyle in this elos, in my opinion, is to do a little bit of both in terms of how you play. A little bit of being flexible, a little bit of playing really consistent, depending on what your teammates are like, what your drafts are like, and so on. And then when you play Halo, you kind of have to adapt every game. And that's the thing, really. Because these people are going to have to adapt every game. You're not really going to learn the stuff that you need in your elo if you're here. And because because these people can choose however they want to play, it kind of both works, right? So these people are just like a reference where it just tells you, well, that guy does like this guy plays consistent and it works for him. This guy like ganks and it works for him, you know? And like anything can work here. And then here you're just like, oh well, this guy plays like that and it works for him, you know? But neither of those is like ideal in your elo. They both can work. I found that even if you know how to play a different playstyle in these elos, and you're able to play that, right? That same playstyle might not work here. Like for example, like ganking a lot, and like that game was a pretty good example because the Yi went bot lane, right? If I play an Iron to Plat, I'm not going to rely on my teammates to do what needs to be done. Like I am going to assume that they will recall in the bush like complete NPCs, right? And either get the recall off or not even get the recall off. He just kills him and he walks away from me, you know? That's pretty much what I'm assuming when I play in like really low elo. So I just think, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna do whatever I can do, you know? So if we sum it up, I think that's like the best way to put it. Here, it's just what can I do always, right? And that's why watching these people play in this elo is fine, because it's like, what can they do, right? They will think the same thing. What can I do, you know? Because their teammates are NPCs. Then if you play in this elo, then it's like a mix of both. And then if you play in this elo, it's like, what can we do? It goes from I to we, right? Communism. Anyway, I hope this gives you some idea of that. And if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.